Hello guys, welcome to the last West Coast road trip vlog. We are making our way back to Perth, all the way from Tom Price. And guys, we're doing this in pretty much one go. I thought that I would vlog this as a little bit of like a reference as to just how far we are traveling in one go. Obviously we've done the way here across 3 weeks pretty much, and we've decided to just drive the way back to Perth basically across 2 days. Also, completely separate note, I want to apologise for my nails in this vlog. I've started to pick them off. It's terrible. We're not going to talk about it. But now that interlude is over, we are leaving Tom Price and we are stopping twice. So we're not doing it in literally one drive because I think it's about 16 hours and that would be silly and a bit dangerous and just very boring. So we are driving back through Western Australia's centre. Rather than going the coastway, we are going through the outback because we just thought it's actually quicker. We want to get there as quick as possible. We're not sightseeing. So I thought I'd document it because I think it's something crazy. Like, how many miles is it?
It must be over 1,000 kilometres back.
I have no idea. Right, I'm going to pop it on the screen here. This is the distance that we're driving. That is what we're going to be covering in this vlog, and I thought I would show you what it is really like to van life through Australia's outback for 3 days straight, just the two of us.
It's going to be 15 hours drive back, so yeah, it might be about 1,500 actually.
Yeah, I think it is.
About 800 miles.
We're going to keep it really real. We're going to show you what we get up to, what we eat, where we stop, where we sleep, if we fall out with each other, because it's a bloody long time.
That'll happen.
I know, we've been pretty good on this trip.
It's okay, I've got Peter Crouch to get me through it, listening to his podcast.
Tom and the bloody podcast.
Hashtag pass the pod.
Right, and on that note, we're about to set off. We're leaving Tom Price and our first stop is Newman, which actually isn't that far from here. The big bulk of the driving is going to be tomorrow and the day after. So
can I please eat my sausage roll?
yes, we've got some
This
snacks.
has been teasing me for like 40 minutes.
Look at the colours in that, guys. Like, I'm not sure how well you can really see it. Obviously we are driving, but I think it's like a quarry or a mine. But there's like a million shades of red going on there. We have made it to Newman, guys. This is the first stop of the day. Here's the sign. The only stop of the day, actually. Oh look, it looks like a town by West Australian standards. I was actually just thinking on the drive here, I'm never once ever again going to say that Beverley is a small town in England, because if a town here had 30,000 people, which is I think the population of Beverley, there or thereabouts, it would be basically classed as a city, I'm pretty sure. I don't really know why you'd be staying here unless you were passing through like we are. I don't think you'd be coming on holiday here. This is the town of Newman, and I'm surprised because there's a lot more here, guys. Look, there's a subway. Like, I know that's not massive amounts to go off because across Australia, subway do seem to be everywhere. There's also a Woolworths in here, and there's like definitely a lot more going on here than I thought there maybe would be. I think just over here there's a school as well, like a high school. Tom has just popped into Woolies to buy some stuff for dinner. The campsite's a strong word. It is a glorified car park. It's not the best, but it's just a one night stay, so we're gonna get some stuff to eat. Kind of wanted to sunbathe because it's a really nice day, but like I said, it's a car park and there's no like grassy areas. I googled it and I was like, oh, there's a park here, like we could just go to the park. It isn't a park, it's like just red dust where there would usually be grass, so I don't think I'll be sunbathing.
I've been feeling so small, watch the clock ticking off the wall, but tonight I'm letting it go. Spend my coin for sure.
The sky is on fire.
Is there an echo in here?
Tom just said that and I was like, that's a nice phrase.
What do you mean it's a nice phrase? It's a phrase you always use.
It is.
That's why I said it.
Yeah, I know. But we are currently waiting for this pot to boil. Oh, Tom, your toes are in it.
Oh, but I charged for those. You can't include that for free.
Yeah, guys, we are just watching the sunset. Just got off the phone to my mum. Had a very, very, very chilled afternoon. Another night, another pasta dish being cooked up on the stove. Guys, we've had pasta a lot, I'll be honest, but
It's easy.
it is easy, and this is our last night of pasta like this. Admittedly, I do also have pasta for tomorrow, but what's really handy about tonight, guys, is there's a floodlight, which actually is amazing because we've been doing this in the dark so often. Guys, I actually won't miss this. Every time I want to vlog in here after dark, I have to have my phone torch on because the lights make the camera do that liney thing. Anyway, it is now 8:30. We are calling it a night for work, although I'll be honest, I really haven't done very much. I'm not in a productive mindset at all. I'm actually just really tired and I've got a bad headache, so I'm struggling to focus. We're gonna watch Ratatouille because we were were like, what should we do tonight? We've been mixing it up between like watching different TV shows, YouTube videos, and then working in the evenings and also playing card games. But tonight we were like, should we just watch a film? And for some reason, I don't know how we decided on Ratatouille, but we decided on Ratatouille because it's one of our favourite Disney films, I think, is how we got there. But it is so cold tonight. Like through the day, it was about 25, 26 degrees. The second it gets dark here, especially because we are so in the middle of nowhere and there's nothing around us, as soon as the sun goes down, it drops like rapidly, and it's already 13 degrees. So it's dropped from 26 to 13 in a couple of hours. Like that's, the temperature has halved. Like that's crazy. Yeah, we've got the heater on, although it doesn't actually work properly and it just comes on when it wants to. But we're gonna stick on Ratatouille now. You excited?
I'm very excited. I haven't watched it in a while and it's probably my favourite Disney film.
I would say it's mine too. We also have a really odd choice of snack, guys. We've got ginger nut biscuits. Tom picked them. We're not gonna question it.
Something a bit different.
Yeah.
And they're quite nice.
Yeah. Good morning, guys. It is Thursday. It is our penultimate day of van life living, and we have a 6.5 hour drive. Today we are heading to Mount Magnet, which is kind of the middle of nowhere. We are heading down from northwestern Australia. We're actually just about on the Tropic of Capricorn, which is cool if any of you are interested in that. But we're about to cross all the way down and we're actually making a good like stint in the journey today. It is 383 miles. I know that we're flicking between miles and kilometers. Obviously we measure it in miles, but Australia measure it in kilometers, but on my phone it's telling me in miles. How many kilometers would you say it is? About 600-ish, 500 kilometers. It's quite a long way. Quite a big chunk of the drive is going to be done today. We had an okay sleep. It was very, very cold. It got down to 8 degrees last night, so we both had really broken sleep. I think Tom was awake from about what, 5:30?
Something like that, yeah.
It's ridiculously early, and I was so convinced it was 9 AM. I thought he'd just woken up at like 7 and he'd been on his laptop. And then I woke up at 7:30 and I was like, oh my god, I thought it was way later than this, just because I knew that Tom had been up for hours.
It was just so cold.
It was freezing. Yeah, we've had a fairly productive morning. It is 9:30. We've filled up the tank. We've actually just filmed a TikTok. We've kind of got everything sorted because we have no phone signal between now and Perth. So the whole rest of the trip there's going to be no mobile signal, and I don't think there's Wi-Fi either. So we've kind of just been getting everything done. We're hoping we're going to be able to check into the caravan park because I've not had a confirmation email and I've tried to call them and they're not picking up, so we're just gonna have to hope for the best. But yeah, we're gonna set off. I'm doing the beginning bit of the drive. We're gonna split it like 3 and 3 today, I think, because 6.5 hours is a lot of driving and also just gets really boring, so we're gonna swap. Let's go. I'm gonna give the camera over to Tom, so he's on vlogging duty now.
So we just passed the Tropic of Capricorn sign, so effectively we've just crossed the line, which we didn't realise that we were going to do it so soon, so I didn't have like a camera or anything ready to see it. But yeah, we've officially crossed the Tropic of Capricorn line.
Also, that's the first sign for Perth we've seen in a while.
1100 kilometres.
69 kilometres to go.
Wow.
It is time for a little lunch break. We are in, oh gosh, what is the name of this place? Got a cappuccino, got a little toasty. Mika Thara. There we go. It's nice to be out of the van, to be honest. Things like this keep on happening. This is the first time we've really experienced this, but these vehicles take up both lanes of the traffic.
Like fully.
Fully taking up the entire road, obviously. That is ridiculously huge. Get these vehicles like obviously going before it to tell you to like get off the road. But the very first time that it happened, or the very first time that it happened today, because there's not been anything like that, like there's a few vehicles that are oversized, kind of how if you drive on the motorway in the UK and there's like people towing caravans or like people moving static caravans, you have to be careful not to be too close to them, but they don't take up the entire motorway. So the first time that I saw that, I just moved over. No, it took up both lanes of traffic, and at the last minute I literally had to like slam on and move left because I just did not realise the size that it was going to be. And I feel like maybe the vehicles travelling ahead should say like really freaking big vehicle, like not just an oversized vehicle. Maybe I'm just stupid, I don't know. I've never seen anything like that. Yeah, there's also been a lot of roadworks. We're like 2/3 of the way there now, but it seems to be taking so long. Ah yes, we have another one. We just got back in the van after we had lunch. About 20 minutes in. This is what I mean, guys, like we just can't really get around that. This vehicle is obviously travelling with it as like a tag vehicle to notify people that this is a bloody massive vehicle. We've not really experienced this at all.
These are the things that makes me yours. The fire, fire, fire.
We are at a very, very quiet campsite here in Mount Magnet. There's not really anything here, guys. Like, we just had a walk down the high street, as you saw, purely to go to the Tourist Information Centre because it had Wi-Fi, because we haven't had any phone signal all of today and we won't do tomorrow either. Kind of just to like, mainly to let my mum know I was alive. We are driving like 11,000 kilometres. Yeah, I was like, oh well, it's nice that we have the option and there is Wi-Fi over there, but there isn't any here. Because we are getting up pretty much as early as possible tomorrow to head back to Perth, we are actually packing the van up tonight. So we need to pack all of our like backpacks, we need to get rid of all of the food, we need to like get all of the rubbish out of the van. We've been living in this van for like the best part of a month. I think tonight is like night 24 and it is a small space and you'd be surprised how quickly all of your stuff just gets everywhere. So the way we're doing it is Tom is packing up his bag now and I'm gonna cook pasta for a third night in a row, guys. Pack it faster tonight. It's actually for side dishes, so I don't know if this is even going to be big enough, but whatever. And then I'm going to pack my bag, but it'll be dark by then probably. So that is our task, and then we're just going to get on with like editing and like doing as much stuff as we can offline. Obviously, like, we can't post or upload or anything, but we can edit and work. That's the task, really. Cooking is first on the agenda. And then this is what the back of the van currently looks like. Tom's here with his backpack. We have stuff just everywhere, guys. It's going to be a challenge. Hello guys, we have been on the road for about 2 hours and I didn't bloody vlog. Basically, we ended up having a pretty early night. There was nothing to do last night. Like, I read for as long as I could read and I am reading a good book, but even then after like 2 hours, I think it's because it's a Kindle, it still sort of feels like I'm looking at a screen. Anyway, we are currently in a town called Woobin and we've just stopped at a BP gas station to refuel and to go to the toilet. Potentially the worst toilet experience so far. Look at this photo I just took. This was the sign on the door, being like, snakes are about, please keep your eyes out. And then I was like really paranoid because I don't know where I've seen this. I think probably on TikTok. I've seen videos of like snakes coming up out of the toilet whilst people are on the toilet. So then I have this like fear that while I'm weeing, a snake is gonna bite me on the bum, which hasn't ever happened, but you know. Anyway, yeah, wasn't enjoying that, but you've got to go where you've got to go when you're on the road. Having said that, just got a cappuccino in the petrol station and we have 2.5 hours left until we are back in Perth. We've swapped driving. I've done the last 3 hours. Tom's here. How are you feeling?
Good.
Home stretch now?
Yeah.
Let's do it.
Excited to get back.
Me too. What's about to happen? We're about to clock over on the dash. You probably can't see it. I'll film it when we get out. To 7,000 total kilometers driven. I'm gonna pop the mile conversion on the screen for any Brits watching because I'm still not 100% sure really what that works out at. I'm also gonna pop on screen a map of if you were to drive from London, let's call it a central location, how far into Europe you would get, just for some scale, because I feel as though me saying like, oh yeah, we're driving around West Australia, it's hard for you guys to really tell how far that is. That's the equivalent of the driving we have done. We are at the car wash. This is the final step before we say goodbye to the van. I can't lie, Tom is doing this. We didn't really understand what was going on because this is a hand car wash, but it's not like a hand car wash in the UK. Or maybe it is, but not like one I've ever been to, but it's the vehicle is too big to take it through the like automatic car wash. The height was like too high. So we're doing this. Tom's doing it. I'm not. Definitely been a bit of a passenger princess these last couple of hours, but I think he's worked it out. Whoa. This reminds me of being a child so much. This brings back such strong childhood memories of sitting in the car during the car wash. One last petrol station fill up, and of course it's a bloody 7-Eleven. Why would it not be? It feels fitting to end it here. We have to take the van back full as part and parcel of renting it with Autobahn, Travelers Autobahn. So I'm gonna head into 7-Eleven and pay for one last round of fuel. And we are back at Travelers Autobahn. Here are several others. I'm just quite impressed that ours didn't come back looking like those ones, to be honest. But we do need to now clear everything out, take everything off of the back seats. Tom, do you want to just unlock it a sec? Thank you. We need to, there goes Tom's ball. Yeah, we need to pack all of this up and get ready to go. So this is goodbye to what has been our home for the last 4 weeks pretty much now, guys. Craziness. This is goodbye. What a shock. I'm a little bit behind ending this video. We're now not in Australia, but you've probably seen that if you're following me on Instagram. If you're not, you definitely should be, because the next couple of weeks are going to be bloody exciting. Also, this is just slightly too low down, so it's a bit of a strange angle. But thank you so much for watching this vlog. Thank you so much for watching the West Coast. If you haven't watched the rest of the series, I'm going to make a playlist because Personally, on a personal level, these are some of my favourite vlogs that I've ever done as like a series to document like one trip. I just think that we had such a great time, but looking back, it's a bit of a whirlwind. Like in my head, even already, it's kind of difficult to differentiate like between campsites and even sometimes between locations. So I think that having these vlogs to watch back is really, really lovely. And I am gonna have a roundup video going up next on my channel, kind of chatting through exactly how much everything cost, what we spent, where the money went, things like that, just because I think that would also be useful if any of you are planning a similar trip. Obviously I know that it is a bit niche, but I just thought I'll upload it because I would have found it helpful. But I'm gonna end this here. Thank you so much for watching. Do subscribe if you're new to my channel. We made it back to Perth 3 days after we set off, so if you are planning a trip like this, don't underestimate just how big West Australia is. Like, for real, it's massive. Anyway, I'm gonna see you in my next video, which will be, as I just mentioned, a little what I spent on the West Coast, and I shall see you then. Bye guys.
Bye.
Thank you so much for vlogging on the West Coast and being part of the videos.
That's okay.
Woo.